I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is why modern dating doesn't work, or privilege and responsibility. So on the whole, I think that comedians do a much better job of understanding men and women and sexual dynamics than do the vast majority of academic psychologists. And one of my favorite comedians on this topic was Patrice O'Neal. That man was funny as hell, and he understood a lot of uncomfortable truths about men and women. Patrice had this line about what men want, and the line was, men want to be alone, but not by themselves. That is, men want their space, they want their freedom, they want their privacy, and they want women, but on the periphery of their lives. I'm not saying this is good or bad or right or wrong, but I do think it's accurate. It is what it is. Now, before I unpack what this has to do with modern dating, please remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It takes you less than a second, costs you nothing, and it's how you can support me in my mission to deliver free, high-quality content to the world. So please, thanks for your help. Now, what does this have to do with modern dating? Well, to the extent that this is true, from a man's perspective, there is a significant mismatch between the privileges awarded to and the responsibilities expected of men as a relationship progresses. And this disincentivizes men from entering into relationships, which, to the extent that relationships are what women want, is bad for women. What does this mean? In an ideal world, privilege and responsibility are balanced. You want more privileges? Then you have to be willing to assume some responsibilities. You want me to take on more responsibility? Then you have to be willing to give me more privileges. Do you see? As workers climb the corporate hierarchy, they are expected to work harder, make more difficult decisions, and assume greater responsibility and accountability for the success of the company. Why would anyone want to do this? Because corporate officers enjoy fabulous compensation packages and other intangible perks. The privileges are increased to match the responsibilities. So what does this have to do with dating? Well, if what a man wants is to have access to women and be left alone, when is he most likely to enjoy these privileges in the course of a relationship? In the earliest stages of the courtship. In modern dating, men can go on a date with a woman or even multiple women, have sex, and then not see or even communicate with the other person for a week or two. That's not a bad deal for a lot of men. Unless a guy is chomping at the bit to get married or start a family, men in this stage of the relationship get a lot of what they want. They get high quality interactions characterized by novelty, excitement, and sex, followed by periods of separation. At this point, men enjoy their freedom and autonomy, and they get what Patrice says they want, to be alone, but not by themselves. And what happens from there in the conventional progression of the relationship? Well, a man comes to take on more and more responsibilities and enjoys fewer and fewer privileges for his trouble. I've personally been in relationships as a responsible, committed adult where I had fewer freedoms and privileges than I enjoyed as an irresponsible, selfish teenager. Sex dwindles, expenses increase, friends and interests are sacrificed, freedom and autonomy vanish, and vibrant Mustangs become the plow horses of women and children. Now, the men who allow this to happen are responsible for their fate, so I'm not blaming women here. My point is that this is how we as a society believe a relationship should go, and that this is a raw deal for a lot of guys. As a professional analogy, the relationship progression for men is akin to starting off in a private corner office. These folks don't need to clock in. They can come and go as they please. To supplement their income, they might have some side hustles or personal investments, and this isn't a problem for the higher-ups as long as it doesn't cause them any trouble. These men can decide their own course, they can choose to work on certain projects and veto others with immunity, and they have fantastic benefits, unlimited PTO, and lots of industry schmoozing. Now imagine that a promotion at this company entails moving the man out of his corner office into a public cubicle on the floor. He's now expected to account for his whereabouts at all times and to ask for permission to come in late or leave early. The man is also expected to sign a non-competition clause and to divest himself of all personal income streams. Furthermore, he's expected to build consensus for his decisions and to submit to the direction of another. Finally, he is expected to be at the office twice as much, to forego the perks of his status and reputation, and only vacation on company-sponsored retreats. Oh, and they cut his salary in half. Does this sound like a promotion to you? It doesn't to me, and it doesn't to a lot of the guys who have opened their eyes to this situation. So what's the upshot? Modern dating doesn't work because men are disincentivized to progress relationships with women. They're expected to do way more for much less. And because of this lack of incentive, relationships are not progressed rationally, but emotionally, which works until it doesn't, and the fallout of which affects men and women and children if present. The fact of the matter is that men would enter into relationships enthusiastically if they believed they got more of what they wanted as a consequence of entering into them. The privileges have to match the responsibilities. What do you think? Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm, and see the About tab for more information on donations, consultations, and sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening.